What is happening? Turbo Toys here, but you can call me Turbski. And today my little turbos and turbettes, we're going to take a little look-ski at the June 28th, 2021 WWE Mattel figure reveals from Ringside Collectibles. So I'm just going to give you my humble thoughts and opinions on what I think of the new Elites, Basics and Legends series. Starting off with an absolute banger! So let's go! So with the reveal of Elite Series 87, I've noticed a few changes in the line. But firstly, let's take a look at the collector's edition from the series, none other than the Warlord. This is going to be his second Mattel release, and my first thoughts looking at this one is that it's going to be a must from me. He's got a new head scan compared to Elite 50, but his entrance vest looks very detailed. This is based off his Powers of Pain look. Now, one of the noticeable changes about Elite Series 87 going forward is the use of these double joints in the elbows. And I'm currently not sure how I feel about that from a customising perspective, but let's give it a chance. Now, lucky enough, the UK have been able to get these collector's edition, whereas before we did struggle. But this guy was a very intimidating structure of a man, and they've definitely captured that in this collector's edition. And next on the list, we have the Poison Pixie that is Candice LeRae. Now this is a figure that very much excites me. I've been watching Candice on the indies for years, and to have the opportunity to own a figure of her is absolutely awesome. Quite a good figure on first appearance, good detail on the entrance vest, and I love that head scan, and I'm thinking the upper torso might be a unique mould for her. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Fantastic sculpt work on them boots that she wears, and I see they've got a cut there below the knee pad for articulation. Strangely though, this figure don't have the double joints in the elbows, but a very cool figure that would definitely make my list. And I'm sure she's going to look very cool next to Johnny Gargano. Now another figure I'm very excited for is this Santos Escobar. Now I'm a very big fan of Lucha Libre, and I was a fan of watching this guy in AAA as El Hijo del Fantasma, as well as King Cuerno from Lucha Underground. But for me, his character as Santos Escobar in NXT is one of the best versions I've seen of him. Great accessories with this figure, including the interchanging head scan with the mask he wore before unmasking himself to become Santos Escobar, as well as the updated NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Now I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel that sometimes the double joints in the elbows make the arms look really long, but I can't wait to see it in hand. I'm also really loving the head scan on this figure, and I feel like that's something Mattel have really stepped up in my opinion. So this figure's another must get for me. Now another absolute main event figure in this line is the Asuka. Yes, the Empress of Tomorrow makes her return in the main figure line. So missing out on both the NXT TakeOver and the Network Spotlight releases, I'm actually quite excited for this one personally. I think the head scan is everything you'd expect from an Asuka scan. I really like the attire on this one, because whereas before there was a lot more colour in the attires, with this one there's a lot more black, giving quite a lot of variation to the previous Elite releases. I love the expression on the face, and I think they have definitely smashed the absolute granny out of this Asuka. So I would absolutely hope to be picking this one up. Right now, even though he ain't with the company anymore, we will be getting this monster among men, Braun Strowman. So taking a ride on the Strowman Express, we have an updated head scan with the shaved head, and I love the expression on this scan. I actually love the way the double joints in the elbows make the arms look on this one. We have seen this torso choice used on the last Strowman, and the attire mould is just a repaint from the last one too. But it does come with that decent cloth goods shirt. And if like me you haven't picked up a Strowman since Elite 52, this is definitely one you might want to pick up. But being as well that it might be the last time we actually see Strowman in an Elite release, it could also be the last time you actually get these hands. And as we move on to Otis, now I have mixed feelings about this one. In the UK, his first release was actually quite rare at retail, making him quite a valuable figure. I think this figure is absolutely fantastic in terms of looks, so would I be picking this one up? I don't think so. There's not enough change from his first Elite release to persuade me to get him. They have gone this time with a topless torso with a cloth shirt. But both his attire and the cloth shirt are both from his time in Heavy Machinery, and not even a lunchbox full of meat can tempt me into it. That period of time that this figure represents is long gone, but if he wasn't able to secure his first figure release, then this would definitely be worth a pickup. As we move on to the chase in the series, it's none other than Apollo Crews. Now this is before he found out that he was some kind of Nigerian god or whatever it is that's going on with him right now. But it's a great looking figure displaying his big cheesy grin. He has had one previous Elite release. But first thoughts on this one, he looks pretty decent. Now it has kind of got you in a bit of a situation compared to the Otis in this series, because even though he has got a new gimmick and this is now outdated, this figure also does come with the up-to-date United States Championship. And it is the first time we will be seeing this accessory in figure form, so because of that I will definitely be looking out for him. Would I get both the standard and chase? I don't think so, but I really do like this figure. Right, also revealed was Basic Series 122. Starting off with the chase in the series, and the first time in the line, Chelsea Green. Now again, a person that's not with the company anymore, but great to see that the figure will still be getting a release. Now there's never normally anything really great to say about basics anymore, but this figure is awesome no matter what version you get. The head scan is on point, and they've given this figure a really great sculpted pair of boots. It's a very good entry for Mrs. Met Cardona, and it may be her first, but it also may be her last. As we move on to Damien Priest, now I don't know, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit better with this figure. It's great work on the face sculpt and the tattoos, but I'm not feeling the hair on this design. I think the attire looks absolutely trash, but it is good to see that this basic figure comes with an accessory, and I really missed Mattel when they used to do that with some of their basics. Now I was actually quite excited to see this Charlotte Flair. I missed out on the Ultimate Edition, and right now the price of that figure is ridiculous. I believe this is one of the scans that actually come on that figure, and I really dig this scan of Charlotte so much that I thought it would be cool to get her. And she can act as a placeholder until I get that Ultimate Edition. And even then I fancy head swapping this scan onto her older Elite. And again, apart from the head scan, there's nothing different that separates this Charlotte to any older release. Now I'm going to call this one the weakest one in the set. Not because it's a bad looking figure, but because I'm sick of pretty much seeing the same figure get released. I do like the head scan on this figure, but we've already got it on Elite 83. And I don't think there's anything on this Drew mech that is going to tempt me to buy him. It would have to be very cheap on clearance. But regardless, it's a great representation of Drew. But it's just a figure that I and most people don't need. Alright, now we're going to move on to the reveals from the basic figure 123 series. And starting off with the Chasing the series, which is Jake Atlas. Now I must admit, I ain't seen a great deal from Jake, but I did see him in a match in NXT with Pete Dunne in a losing effort, as well as a match with Eli Drake or LA Knight where he picked up the win. He also had a decent match with Jungle Boy back in 2019. And he has got a good moveset, and I do like his figure, but he's not on my radar of figures to get. Right, I'm going to call this one the figure of the set. Now regardless if you like basic figures or not, this first time in the line Dexter Lumis is absolutely flawless. Really captures that creepy look with the head scan again being on point. Even though he has a very basic look with them green pants, the tattoos look exactly spot on compared to how they look in real life. If I see this figure, I'll definitely be picking him up, and I can't wait to see what they do with him in Elite form. We have another basic Bobby Lashley release, now this time in the longer tights. So even though it's a more updated attire, the head scan is still the same as the previous figures. And I was kind of hoping for a more serious, like a more kind of angry look. But rather than that mean look, they've given this quite relaxed, pleasured look. Great likeness on the figure, but it doesn't interest me whatsoever. We've got maybe Braun Strowman's last basic figure release in this series. Again, great head scan. I think it might be a new basic torso mould, I'm not 100% sure. I love the MC Hammer pants, very stylish. But I feel if you're going to get this one, why not pay that bit extra and get the Elite 87 version? So it's a great basic figure, but again, not for me. And I think that's the same sort of story for the Otis in that series. Great head scan, even though it's not a new one. Unfortunately, it is a bit out of date again, but the overall likeness is spot on for Otis. And the fact that he was a very popular character may appeal to a lot of people, but for me, I'm going to stick to his first release for now. But if you didn't pick him up, then again, I do recommend paying that little bit more money and getting the Elite 87. Moving back to the Elites with Legends Series 12, and the chase in this series is the Junkyard Dog. Now a very popular character in the rock and wrestling era. Now I do like the red tights version because it reminds me of that classic LJN figure. We have seen a previous release in the Elite line, which was a very good figure. So it would be cool to see that figure compared with these Legends figures. And I do like the dog chain and the crown that comes with this figure. Genuinely, I think that this is a great figure to add to your collection. Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now the thing is with this figure, it's a bit up and down in my opinion. Instantly, I'm not sure about how the head scan looks. I can't wait to see what other people's opinions are and if they feel the same way. But I would actually love to see the figure in person before saying I don't really like it. I love the t-shirt accessory, and it's always cool to get a kilt with a figure. Piper has had some banging figures made by Mattel, so hopefully this one would be no different. I would have liked to maybe see the red tights or even black tights rather than the same old blue tights, but that's no big deal. Now we did see leaked photos of this one a week or so ago, and I remember talking to my friends saying how I think this one's a fake. It looks like Billy Gunn dressed in Tommaso Ciampa's camo pants and Triple H's D-Generation X top. Also the fact that he's AEW now, I didn't think that he'd get a WWE release, but I love this figure. I've said before that Billy Gunn was one of my favourites of the Attitude Era. I really dig the white attire and I think it really pops. I'd imagine I'd have to pay an arm and a leg to get this figure, but it will definitely be on my list. And from further leaked news, we found out that there will be other members of the DX Army making appearances in the Legend line, so we'll look forward to seeing that. And last from this series, we have the NWO Kevin Nash. Now this figure is absolutely incredible looking. I've never had a problem with any previous Nash figures, but the scan on this figure is insane. Along with the accessories, that awesome Outsiders t-shirt, which looks amazing. I feel like this one has a great attire on him. I love the bandana. I was kind of hoping that this figure would be in kind of like a regular Elite line, because the Diesel was a network spotlight figure and it's kind of hard to get. But Mattel absolutely smashed this one out of the park. An absolutely awesome figure. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these latest figure reveals, but for now, that's going to do it for this one. What figures are you most looking forward to? Was there any figures you really liked? Was there something you feel they could have done a bit better? Drop me a comment and let me know. If you enjoyed what you see, be sure to leave a big like. Take it a step further and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Come follow your boy on Instagram and TikTok at Turbo Toys. And until the next video, I will see ya when I see ya.